sorry for the mini rant, but Evan, I agree with you.
Play the song again for no reason. Let me see it.
Someone they're trying to show you what they think you want to see. They're trying to say the things they think you want to hear, and the whole time you don't know who this person is because they're showing you someone else. So sorry for the mini rant, but Evan, I agree with you. I love people with, hey, the only 13. DM me the song. I make music. I write for different artists. I actually have one of my artists dropping a song soon. Um, Definitely drop some info there. We got True. And we got my boy Brandon, man. Appreciate you joining again. I love seeing you drop in. So just so you guys know, if you guys weren't aware, we go live here and we also go live here over in the community. So yeah, there's that. But when you guys come in the community, you guys will have a chance to be in some of these reels that are gonna be dropping soon. So we've had like 3 interviews so far. We've been working. We've been doing a lot. Hey, I got the song, man. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up on the iPad, on the iPizzy. Before we get started, we gonna see what his song sounds like before we get started. But I see a lot of good questions. I'm gonna answer some of these as we get started here. But just for everyone who's tuning in from the community, hello, welcome back to another episode of the Hyperactive Hustler. We're actually live here in the community, and we're live on Circle. My camera looks weird. I hate when it mirrors it. Like, ew. Like, I don't like to see myself opposite. Like, I want to see myself how it looks on the screen. But yeah, let me get set up here, y'all. Sorry, I had a crazy start to the live. Like, I went straight from like working like on like serious stuff to starting this live. So like I have like 20 tabs open. But yeah, I got a song we just were DM'd. I want to see how that sounds before we jump in. I love art. I love music. I love when people want to share their art. I don't take it lightly. Like if you share your art with me, I feel like that's a big deal, y'all. So let's see what we got here. Where'd it go? Maybe it's in my request. I don't see the song, man. Maybe I'm not sure where it went. Like I don't. I'm in general. Maybe refresh. And man, I don't see a song. Maybe try sending it again. But guys, just to do that intro one more time before we have a few people who just jumped in. Welcome back to another live episode of the Hyperactive Hustler. I don't know what episode we're on now. We're about to start dropping episodes left and right, dropping reels left and right, dropping content left and right. But just know that this is another one, and we're going to do this every week, twice a week, sometimes more. Today we got a lot to talk about, man. I mean, there's a lot of people. Most ADHDers end up in business for a lot of different reasons, mainly because to be a good business owner, to be an entrepreneur, you have to be innovative. You have to be able to create out of thin air. You have to be able to have a very high level of critical thinking. And the thing is with ADHD, do I take medication? Oh no, that was an old question. Let me see if there's any. This the link. I can't click the link from here, man. I'm gonna get with you, man. We gonna try to get this song listened to, even if I gotta accept it on my play it on my next live. Um, dope. Appreciate you guys joining. How do you stay? Good question. Before we even jump in, I just wanted to answer this before because out of sight, out of mind, and I want to leave it. How do you stay motivated if you're starting to lose interest in a project you spend a lot of time working on? Oh Lord, I know what you mean. I always say when you're trying, like let's say you're afraid or you're worried that you're losing interest in a project. I say it depends on how important that project really is. So like if that's something that like you're trying to make some money from, if that's like a really serious project there, I say study a lot of discipline. A lot of people think that there are shortcuts and they think that, a lot of times we blame our ADHD on things that you can fix if you just like really study the true meaning of discipline. Mastering discipline is hard for anybody, neurotypical ADHDers or not. So it's something that everyone struggles with. But I feel like, sorry, I'm kind of jamming out here. It's been a long day, but discipline I think is the biggest thing. Is the biggest thing that's helped me just gain control of my ADHD a little bit. You just have to be very intentional, and you have to just completely be mindful all day, and you have to really, it's a struggle. You have to really fight against your mind all day. Like, you feel yourself walking, away from what you need to do, or you feel yourself turning on your game system. You feel it, and you just have to be knowledgeable. Don't just say, "Oh, here it is, it's taking me." Like, wake up, wake up in that moment, like be present in that moment and say, "Hey, let me stop this." Or, be proactive, work on some things to fight yourself. Yourself, so put some things in place, to help yourself not lose, focus, not lose control. But very good question. I sometimes forget stuff as soon as I'm about to do it. Is that a sign of ADHD? Good question. So just I'm glad you asked. So whenever anyone does ask anything like this, just know that I'll say yes or no if it's on the list of a million things that ADHD can cause. But I'll never tell anyone you have it. But yes, that's definitely something that a lot of HDers deal with, but a lot of neurotypicals deal with. So I always say, when it comes to if you're just stacking a bunch of different symptoms, and you're starting to see a lot, I say get tested. I mean, it's no harm against getting tested, even if you're not seeing stuff, unless it's insurance doesn't cover it. But definitely get tested when you start seeing more than just a few symptoms. But gonna jump into today's talk, guys. So a lot of different things we want to talk about. Like I said, I want to talk about a lot of business stuff, because I know a lot of people have just been recently following me, a lot of entrepreneurs. And like I said, being an ADHDer, it's so easy to get into the business world just because practice makes perfect, right? Practice makes perfect. And what I mean by that, a lot of people think that business is about just getting lucky overnight, but it's just about practice. And not to say that all ADHDers just practice business all day, but all ADHDers practice critical thinking all day, or you have to survive in this world. Our critical thinking is tested way, way more because of the situation that we put ourselves into. A lot of ADHDers fall victim to just our impulses, which creates a crazy lifestyle for us, and that crazy lifestyle requires a heightened level of critical thinking. So if you're going to stick around, and if you're not going to just die, if you're going to actually survive, you're going to come out with a lot of critical thinking, as an ADHDer, which sets you up for entrepreneurship, in a way. And all our whole life, we're taught how to figure out to do things in a different fashion. We're taught how to innovate. Literally, like, we have to innovate. We have to find different ways to do things that everyone else does, because their way doesn't work for us. So that's the main reason why today I wanted to spend some time just talking about just the actual ways to scale a business the right way in 2024, just because I know that there's so much predatory ads, and there's so many predatory gurus who feast on people who want instant gratification. So in their ads, they're going to tell you that it's very possible to get these things that you want instantly, which is wrong for so many different levels and so many different reasons. But it affects us ADHDers a lot more, just because we are more prone to those impulses, and we are prone to if you're able to tug on our heartstring, excuse me, we're more likely to give in. So want to talk a little bit about what you actually need to be doing if you want to see, like, your business make some actual progress in 2024, and how to progress, so how to succeed without completely falling victim to your ADHD, especially if, let's say, you're in college, let's say you're in high school, let's say you're working a job where you're really trying to get a promotion, or let's say you're just trying to start a business, or you have a business and it hasn't gone anywhere. ADHD a lot of times can keep us in that place if we don't manage it the right way, and if we blame the wrong things in our ADHD. Sometimes there are some things we just need personal development with, that we're blaming on our ADHD. And because we blame it on our ADHD, we never give it the help or the care, or even the energy that it needs, because we think it's a lost cause. I can't control ADHD. I can't get rid of it. So that thing is going to be around forever. And a lot of things don't have to be that way. So, I mean, first thing, I know we had a few questions. I want to start with some of our questions before I jump in to everything I want to talk about. But no, I'm just really trying to clear all these windows I have open, actually, just because, gee willikers. I know we had some questions. I want to start with, let's see. Think, smoke. Did I answer all of them? Okay, so yeah, that was the one I wanted to go back to. What do you do if your parents don't believe ADHD is real? A lot of people might laugh at this question. A lot of people might think like, no way, but like, no, like way. Like a lot of people. I mean, we even have people in live, or I get DMs all the time. ADHD isn't real. ADHD isn't real. There are people who think like this, or people who really don't think like this. They just want to put people down and stuff like that. But if you do have a parent who doesn't believe in ADHD, let's say you're younger, let's say you're coming up on high school and stuff. I would say, I mean, it's really hard when our parents, like, because you have to kind of listen to what they say, and we have to follow their lead. But I say just try your best to educate them in the most respectful way possible. So just get access to as many ADHD books. Maybe try to talk to counselors at your school. I will just start doing your research. If you can put together a research paper or a presentation for your parents to talk about this thing, I mean, at that point, there's just a lack of love if they aren't willing to, listen to you and hear you out of whatever you're saying. So, I would say get creative. A lot of people, just in a lot of different areas, relationships. A lot of us tend to lack creativity sometimes when we feel like our back against the wall, something like that. But get creative. If there's someone in your life that doesn't understand something that you want them to, get creative in your methods of how you go about your communication. Like there's so many different ways to communicate it to someone. If your parent believes that ADHD isn't real, they probably haven't spoke with anyone who explained it the right way, because it is. Like, it's not like you're making something up. It's not like this is something that doesn't affect a huge chunk of the population. It's just like if your parents didn't believe cancer was real, if your parents didn't believe, depression was real, it if it is, if it is true, if it is real, then it's just about getting that in their head. It's just about, getting them to learn it. So I know that sounds really hard. I mean, it sounds easier said than done. But you know, if we gotta do it, we gotta do. Yeah, my mom doesn't believe in ADHD and said fish oil will fix my brain. Oh Lord, I used to. So that's funny. My mom actually did recommend fish oil for me a lot, and it is very good. I mean, it has omega 3s. Eating fish, can help with a lot of different things mentally. It definitely won't help with a lot of the things like rejection, sensitivity, dysphoria, and the other things that aren't just mental, that are emotional. Because a lot of people don't know ADHD is not just focus. It's not just hyper. It's not just my mind. It's also my emotions, my heart, my emotional regulation. Like there's so many big words in this space. But yeah, like ADHD affects so many things than people think, and that's why I hate when people deduce. I hate when people, are, let's say they're having a day where they're not focused. Oh, I'm ADHDing it up. It's like, oh, so you're also having RSD. You're also this, that, and the third. Like, don't just play like that, because it's big. It's really big. Yes, that movie isn't better than my soul. But no, like we're gonna get into some more of these things. But yeah, ADHD, for the people who are even in life who don't know, ADHD is not just focus or hyperactivity. There's a lot of different things that comes with it, and we'll talk about some of more of those things today. But dude, I just been trying to close. I'm bad at multitasking. I'm just gonna close some of these tabs just so I can. I'm not gonna say I'm bad at multitasking. It's just different situations can you know what I mean, man. You know what I mean. Hold on. Excuse me. Feel free, guys. Anyone who's joining the drop, whatever questions in the chat that you guys have about business, that you guys have about ADHD, anything like that. And then even if you don't stay for the answer, like this episode will drop on Apple, this episode will drop on YouTube, on Spotify podcasts, all of that. So feel free to drop questions, and then I will make sure I answer them before the live is over, and then you will still see them dropped on this page in the form of a reel or something like that in the next few days. Or just make sure you guys follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere, guys. We're doing a lot. We're if you guys could see what's in my head, like it would just be dope. There's so many things that we've just been working on just to help people. For you guys who don't know, my name is Jace. If for the guys who just joined the live as well, my name is Jace, and my name Jace actually means to help people. I'm a coach. I write music. I own manage businesses. I do operations, copy, a lot of different things. And it wasn't until I found out that I had ADHD that actually a lot of these things it became possible, because I would thought I was working against stupidity. I thought I was working against ignorance or whatever. I didn't know what I was working against. So I was getting tools, and before I was able to, ascend and, start succeeding in life, I was getting tools that were for things I didn't have, that were for things that had nothing to do with me. It wasn't until, and that's the real reason why it's really important to get your diagnosis, not so you can start just making a bunch of excuses every day and say, oh yeah, I can just treat people like crap and never remember your birthday and not buy you gifts. Like, no, that's not the point of getting the diagnosis. The point is so that you can now get tools for you, get specific tools for you. Otherwise, you're kind of just, free balling it. You're just raw dogging life. And, even if you don't want to take meds, the fact that you don't even know you have meds is scary. Because one thing I know I keep going down rabbit holes before I get to our like main topics for the day. But no, actually, I won't. I'll actually stop there. I won't go down that rabbit hole. From one ADHD to do another, does your brain hold useless info? And Nature's Child, definitely feel free to DM. Follow our podcast page. For one, comment the word live. That'll give you access to actually join our lives. If you I don't really share, we don't go live with people on Instagram. We do it from our community just because it's easier, and you would actually be featured in the episode. The Instagram, we don't put these on YouTube, but from our community, we record everything. We can share our screen. We can do all different things. You can join our community, go live, have a conversation with us. Even when we do our podcast interviews, we do them live from our community. So everyone who's actually in the community now can like see, you get updates every time we go live. It's super dope. But yeah, as far as I'm gonna answer your question. I just everything's coming down. But as far as joining the live, yeah, we you can definitely join us when we in the community. All community members have access to lives and things like that. But to answer your question, does your brain hold useless info? I would say yes and no. I have a lot. I'm doing a lot. I own and run a production company. I help with operations, and I'm a business coach at You First Solutions. I host 2 podcasts. I write music. I have my own consulting firm that I kind of been just one-on-one, like here and there with people, until one of my coaches, he had pink eye and dealing with a lot of stuff family wise. So that's kind of on pause. But that's another consulting firm that helps creatives. You First Solutions helps entrepreneurs with ADHD and things like that. But I say all that not to brag or anything like that, but I say all that to say my brain has to hold a lot of information. I'm not sure as far as useless, I've kind of trained myself to everything in my brain is priority. So it depends on your priorities. Like, I think ADHDers, we don't like, our sense of prioritization and our executive functioning is very skewed. So a lot of our things that we do is based on our priorities. And I priority right now, like I had a really rough, like a couple years ago, I had a really rough year. Like things I had, everyone has ups and downs, and I had like a really big down, and almost just messed up everything as far as with my life and just my relationship. And coming back now, one of my main priorities is making money, which I soon want to just turn that off because I just hate it. But like, obviously in this day and age, especially in the States, it's the economy is just crazy. So it's like you have to be very proactive, and obviously you have to take care of your family. But I say all that to say my priorities are based on like, business management, things like that. So I remember things like that. If you prioritize something else, let's say you prioritize, some people prioritize social media. They prioritize their idols and celebrities. So they hold a lot of information about other people's relationships that have nothing to do with them. So in that case, yeah, that information can be useless, but useless information depends on what you feel useless is, right? Because the stuff that I have in my head, you might think this is useless. I don't need to know any of this stuff. It might be cool, but it's useless to me. Right. So somebody might be in journalism and they might have to know about celebrities and who they're dating and stuff. And that's useful information. For me, that's useless information. I don't care what celebrity is doing anything ever. Like, I watch basketball, I keep, track of them, but I don't care about their personal relationships. I would love for them to not be abusive and not to do some bad things that we do see. But I don't care. I don't want to know about anyone else's, what happens in their home. It's just, it doesn't concern me. So I hope that answers your question. Some people look at some information as useless, some people don't. But if you're an ADHD, your the way you store information though is based on your priorities, and whatever is not top of mind to you, whatever isn't a priority for you, will leave your head immediately, out of sight, out of mind. That's why it's good to have sticky notes, things like that. But my last semester, okay, this is my last question I'm gonna do before the second half of the show, and I'll get into talking just about some of these things that are really helpful for us. Like I said, ADHDers, we're prone to entrepreneurship because we're taught all of our life to innovate and find new ways to do things that everyone else has their own way for, which turns into just obviously pioneering, excellence, right? People like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. Not, I'm not sure. Bill Gates isn't confirmed, but I think Jeff Bezos was, as far as ADHD, and it just causes you to think outside of the box. And because you don't like, we have that level of delusion that lets us take an idea and we're willing to run with it. Sometimes it might not be a good idea, but that level of delusion that we all have, and the fact that we think anything is possible, um, could take us a lot of places. But my last semester of senior year is right now, and I really need to find some I want to do after school. But when my ADHD gets in the way, and I don't know what I want to do. Gregory, this is a perfect time, and we're actually throwing a boot camp. So it's a 6-week boot camp that will teach. So for people who want to get into business or thinking about entrepreneurship or just looking for the next, side hustle, this boot camp will help a lot. A lot of times when people work with me, because I'm so honest in the way I, coach and do business, you either are going to find out if business is for you or not. Because sometimes the way I lay it out, I don't sugarcoat things. I don't tell you this is going to be super duper easy. I say, okay, this will take A, B, and C. It's possible, but it depends on the quality of life. It depends on if you're in a position where you can work your ass off, right? But if you want, you can definitely just DM me something. Just DM you First Solutions. That's the company who's hosting it. But we're hosting this boot camp where we're actually talking about each step of scaling a business the right way. What this will do is, if you're not thinking about getting into business, if you're thinking about getting into business, this will tell you like if it's doable for you. Because what we're going to be teaching on this boot camp, we've helped hundreds of businesses scale using this same framework. So it works. It's just about if it's going to work for you. It just depends on priority and how much free time you have and things like that. But as far as like just things that I did, so as far as just my advice, let's say you don't come to the boot camp, let's say just right here, right now, man. I got into sales really early. So I got into I got into regular sales, like door to door and insurance sales. And not that wasn't fun. That isn't something I recommend, but it built so much character, and it's kind of shaped me and set the foundation for what I would be later in life, which is just a hustler. That's why our podcast is called The Hyperactive Hustler. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, I would say when it comes to what you want to do in life, you're always going to have two things you do. And I would say have two things you do. And if you can only, I guess, doing this makes balloons go up. Oh my God. Let me actually finally close. Sorry, wife just got home. I know too much about animatronics. Five Nights at Freddy, Disney, Chuck E. Cheese. Is it just me, or can you listen to one song for like hours? I'll be listening. It's just me. No, we do hyper focus on. So okay, so let me what I'm gonna do right now. What I'm gonna do right now, Nature's Child DRG or Nature's Child RG. I'm going to close the tabs that I need to close before I say another word. I've been trying to close these tabs all call, guys. So I'm so sorry. This is so annoying. Let me do that. And then I'm going to answer your question. I'm not going to let myself answer before I close these tabs. Or these tabs won't get closed. I promise you. And then my computer's going to crash. And then I'm going to cry. And then it's going to suck. No. Okay. I couldn't even find the tab I was going live from. That's insane. Like, I've been looking for this the whole time. I didn't even know someone joined from in here. What's up, Amir? Amir, we can chat tonight, dude. Like, I just while you're here, man, I had a power went off. It kept coming back on and off, and then the Wi-Fi was just man. But we'll be chatting hopefully tonight, dude. I gotta chat with you. But okay, hold that thought. 1 second. Let me close. Let me close this tab. Let me get this open. I'm such a mess, but it's okay. It's all good because I found it. I found what I was looking for. Okay, back to your question. We got eight people. What's up, everyone? And for everyone who doesn't know, again, my name is Jace. This is another live episode of the Hyperactive Hustler. I got some Doja Cat actually playing in the background, so no one hates her. I know a lot of people hate her, but I just like good music, so don't kill me. But to answer your question, Aces Child, oh, I lost someone. Oh, Doja Cat made someone leave. But okay, so the reason why a lot of us do hyper focus and hyper fixate on things like that. So let's say we play a song all day. It's not just because we like that song. It's safe, right? A lot of people do things for different reasons, but a common reason why that is common, and yes, I do that all the time. Um, because it's safe. We know what's going to happen. Like we know over and over again, each beat, we know what's coming up and it's just secure and it's safe. And in this day and age, it's hard for us to find things like that. It's hard for us to find predictability. People on the spectrum, people with neurodivergent, um, predictability is usually what we're searching for. We just want something that does what it says it can do. We want things to go the way they're supposed to. So a lot of times, once we find something we like, we just cling to it because it's rare. It's super rare. So a lot of people look at it as a bad thing, but it's rare to really find something that works, find something that satisfies your feelings, something that satisfies your emotions. And that's why hyperfixation happens a lot of times. Obviously, there's deeper reasons, and different people have different reasons, but that's a really big one. Is there a way I can skip adding my number to ask my number? Um, I'm assuming that's on. I guess you could put a number that doesn't work. Yeah, as long as you have like email or as long as you have email or something, just so we can like update you when we go live and stuff. Because I mean, otherwise, joining the community would be like you would kind of miss out on a lot of different things if you don't have notifications. But yeah, you can definitely skip your number. I don't think we text you unless that's mainly for people who like say that they want us to call or they want like more information through text because we give you two different options for getting information from us. But back to kind of like I appreciate all the questions, guys. Like that's definitely what this is for. I'm not like a doctor or anything, so I'm not an ADHD doctor. I've just had to deal with it for a very long time, and I've had to try to find success and provide for other people and be counted on by other people while dealing with it. So I know a little bit about it because I have to. It's my job to. I also most of the so if I put my number, can I block the number? Um, I would just put a number that doesn't work. I'm not sure. We're not gonna like send you any like bad stuff, but We don't send. I haven't sent any text blasts or anything. Like I haven't needed to do that yet. You just usually do that if we go live or something, or if we have like a big thing happening. But I would just put a number that doesn't work because I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. But I know that you're probably just worried about getting stuff you don't want. I don't know any random numbers. Yeah, like we're not gonna just be calling you or anything. Like we don't have any text blasts set up. But like if you wanted to be called, if you wanted to participate in something that we were doing, that would be up to you. But okay, we have about 23 minutes left on today's live. But definitely feel free to just put, like maybe just change a number in your number so that it doesn't work, so that we you're just completely safe. I'd rather you just have peace of mind in whatever way that looks. Um, Sorry, I have three screens in front of me, so bear with me. Um, but yeah, so I want to talk more. Actually, share my screen for our listeners who are watching, so you guys have a feel for what is coming, what is about to be upon us. We have a really cool boot camp coming up. So I know we had someone earlier. He asked me what should he do after high school, or what should he do just after. Like I think he said he was considering college. I would say honestly, sales is a really good starting point. You have to learn a lot of discipline to be good at sales. So if you're bad at it starting off, it not all you have to find a good company. Obviously, there are places you can work and you're selling the worst thing in the whole world, and it's not going to do anything. But there's something to be said about this, the level of discipline that's built by sales positions and stuff like that. But I always say there's two things. That was the thing I left off on. There's two things. Oh my god. So you guys can tell like it's not a fake. Like ADHD is super real. Like it happens. But there's two things. So if you want to just be happy and do things that you love and find joy in life, there's, like I said, two things you should be doing. You should find something that you love to do, get good at that thing, and then find a job. And whenever you don't need a job and you can just do that thing that you love, you've won. But until you can get paid to just do this thing that you love, you need a source of income. Unless you have very nice friends, very nice family, unless maybe you're not a man. 'Cause, I mean, for a man, I mean, most of our whole existence depends on providing. So it's like we kind of have to work on that a lot. But there's some people. I mean, you can not have to worry about that as much. But hey, I'm not mad at anyone. I would rather not have to do this. But two different routes. You want to get your skill, get whatever you love doing. So let's say, a lot of people say I like talking, but that's not going to get me paid. Yes, it can. So whatever you like to do, like figure out what you like doing first. So if you don't know if there's nothing that if there's no task or hobby that you have that you look forward to doing every day, or you every time you do it you feel home, you need to wait until you find that thing, because I truly humbly believe there's a thing like that for everyone. Like, imagine, like, there's so many people who never try boxing and just think it's stupid, and then if they try it, it would be like they would be the best boxer in the world. Like, there's just so many people who haven't touched something that can change their life. So I say get out there, travel the world, because you got to figure out what you love first. Because if you don't have that, then I mean, purpose is a huge thing for ADHD. So if you have ADHD, or if you have ADHD and you don't have like a passion, or you don't have any like hobbies that you love, you got to find that sooner. Life will be depressing, because we need purpose, right? We need purpose so much, and if we don't have purpose, we really feels awful. It feels terrible whenever we're working at a job that is under fulfilling, or we know that it's underutilizing us. It's very awful. Just even doing anything, honestly, that doesn't seem like it's helping or beneficial in the grand scheme of things, because we're big picture people, right? So definitely get something you love, and then once you have something you love, now it's just about figuring out how to make money doing that thing. And I always say, just do what you love, and show people it. Like, that's it. Do what you love and share it with others. In this day and age, that's just enough to make some good money. Like, we just talked with, on our other podcast, we talked with this guy. His name's Nayan. His You guys know him as the Overthinking Hooper, and basically he has. I'll actually share my screen, show you guys his page for the people who are here live. But he's been just going viral from what? Let me edit this. Okay. Let's go to let's go like my cat. Sorry, that was a really that's my part in that song. But yeah, we have a guy who we interviewed, and he has like over 20 million views across, I mean, probably more than that, from just dribbling a basketball in just random places and just getting as creative as he possibly can with the videos. He's got to dribble. He was dribbling on the freeway. He was dribbling on top of a gas station. He dribbled in a strip club underwater, doing all these different things, just dribbling his ball. And like, he's on the verge of, we're obviously going to be working with them, and we want to help him out as much as we can. But I know he's on the verge of just getting, I mean, just being paid for that. Like, he has over 100K followers. He just started the page in August. He gets crazy engagement. All he did was record himself dribbling a basketball, and creatively. Right. So I always say, if you find something that you love and something that you just have a passion for, don't be so quick to say, I can't make money doing that thing. Find a way to monetize it. And if you don't know how to monetize it, find someone who can teach you how to monetize it. No, that's fine. But definitely figure out a way to. But no, we do help. We do help business owners, and we do help entrepreneurs when it comes to the idea phase. That idea phase is hard to get out of, especially when you have ADHD, because there are so many different there's so many different variations, because you if you have ADHD, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Whenever we have an idea, we think of it's backwards. We think of the end first, and we think, but as far as the end, there are so many different ways and so many different paths to get to that end. So each idea that we think of has like 5 different variations of how we can start it. And a lot of us get stuck in which one, which way do I do, or we don't even it's hard to even find the validation needed to pursue an idea, because pursuing an idea it takes guts, it takes bravery, it takes so much, it takes know-how. And if you're not taught how to do that, or if you just fall victim to just getting stuck, then you're gonna miss out on a lot of ideas. So that's mainly what our boot camp, and a few we're gonna starting on February 1st. So let me actually share my screen and show you guys what I'm talking about. For it seems like we just got one person here. on Instagram. We got a few people here. We got people who keep jumping in and out. Just so you guys know, if you have any questions about ADHD, business, anything like that, feel free to drop it in. Even if you don't stay, even if you're like, I'm about to get out. Drop a question, I'll answer it, and I'll this whole episode will drop again on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. So and obviously a bunch of the reels will be dropping on all of our pages: ADHD Survival, the Hyperactive Hustler, You First Solutions, um, you name it, we got it type thing. But no, let me. I need to find, dude. Like, if you guys could see my screen, if you guys could see my setup right now, like I have 5 screens in front of me. No exact. So one, two, three, four. No, I have 4 screens in front of me. So I'm not gonna. That was a little bit of an exaggeration. One last question. Go for it. Go for it. And that'll give me some time to look for this thing I'm looking for. There we go. This is so crazy. I'm doing so much. Okay, what time is it? Okay, 15 minutes left. We are good. That's great. Do you know the? Yes, yes, yes. I wonder. Are you asking? Because a lot of people know this reference from different movies. I hope this is from Shrek. I hope you're quoting Shrek. Because last time I went into like a whole thing with someone who said that, and they were like, "I don't know what you're talking about," and I felt really stupid. And I'm like, I thought everyone knew that from Shrek. So I hope you're saying that from Shrek. Cool. I forgot where the person said they heard it from. I'm like, no, that is a Shrek reference. Whoever told you anything else is a complete liar. That is Shrek. They should trademark that if they haven't. Though my song is on Audio Mac, everything that comes to mind. Got you, Lil. I'm gonna tap in, man. I need to if I'll see I'll see it. I'll look at my DM and make sure I don't miss it. But I am so sorry, y'all. Like, I've been trying to. You guys can see live the ADHD mind and the type of stuff that happens. So yeah, don't beat me up. How do I deal with overthinking from ADHD? Connor, man, no, man. This is too deep. No, how do we think? How do we deal with overthinking from ADHD? Um, I always give what I do, and I always want you guys to know that I am not a doctor, and I am I'm not a doctor, okay? But just know that I've had been forced to find my own ways to deal with it. I have a medical card. I have a medical card. I have a medical marijuana card. I sometimes that's something I've used personally. That's just personally. Whenever I have a really bad bout of just overthinking, very bad bout. That's not just a regular every time I overthink, smoke, smoke, smoke. But sometimes, especially if you're in a relationship, you get into a point of just a lot of self like I should have started with the other thing. So I don't know why I went smoking first, but I just know that's just something I found that helps just calm my mind sometimes if you get the right strand. But obviously not everyone smokes, so I know I just always say, hey, I like to be honest and say what I do and not just a lot of people like to give you they show you an end product and but they show you different things. They don't show you what they actually did to get that end product, and I don't want to lie. So this calm demeanor sometimes it won't just always be from exercises and and my and writing music. Sometimes I do smoke just because it just can calm the mind a little bit. Um, other things are obviously art, creativity, finding those hobbies, those passions, those things that we love. But if you're a guy, for me, we think logically, and even though I can ADHD can make us very emotional. For me, even though I can get very emotional, my like the way I act and the way I think is still my logic is still a baseline. So sometimes I can actually talk myself out of overthinking if I just be logical with myself. It's like, okay, you sit down with yourself. What's the thought? Okay, men can do art. Yes, we can do art. I wasn't saying like men can't do it. I was just saying from the logical standpoint, being able to talk yourself out of overthinking, I feel like that would be a little bit harder from the woman's perspective, just because the emotions are a little bit more intense, already more intense, even though ADHD makes emotions more intense. But I mean, you have to deal with hormones. I know nothing about, so I would assume it's a little bit harder. But yeah, man, definitely, I do art. I mean, I write music. I do a lot of graphic design, and I found that doing graphic design, it keeps me calm. But yeah, like sometimes Kyle from South Park. I don't know if like you're saying I sound or look like him. I need more. Kyle from South Park like actually just join? Like what? Now you're like what? Okay. I see. Someone's profile picture was Kyle from South Park. I thought Kyle from South Park was in my life. I'm like, oh my god, y'all is funny, bro. You was funny. You made me lose my whole train of thought. That had me thinking the actual Kyle from South Park, the voice actor, was in my life. But dang, see, you really got me with that one. Oh yeah, so overthinking, talking yourself out of overthinking. So this a lot of times what I can do. Mm, my bad, I'm going off my meds. But yeah, talking yourself out of overthinking real quick before Connor leaves and doesn't get his answer. So talking yourself out, sit down, let's sit with the thought, right? Whatever the thought is. So let's a common one that I would have in relationships would be my significant other hates me. She hates me. There's no way she doesn't. That's absolutely what she feels. You're not convincing me otherwise. So sometimes we get there. Sometimes we just get to a point where our friend hates us. Our friend sends us a message and it's a different cadence of texting than they usually use, and they didn't use an emoji. They hate me. They absolutely hate me, and that's what we're sitting with, right? So a lot of times I just try to go the logical route, and I say, okay, when was the last time we spoke? What happened the last time we spoke? Left, gave me a hug, told me he loves me. She left, she gave me a hug, told me she loves me. Whatever, it's a friend, if it's a relationship. Okay, when I mean, have I gotten any other besides this message that I've just been sent? Have I gotten any other inference, or is there any other thing that would tell me that they just don't like me anymore, right? Or obviously this is a very remedial one. Obviously, as we get older, we have to learn to cut this one out because that's a bad one to have. But just to give you guys an example, like it's just about working your way backwards. Okay, how did we get here? How did I get to this thought? Is it just this message? Okay. But the biggest thing, if you're overthinking tied to someone else, communicate. And if it gets to a point where it just makes them so mad, then maybe you got to remove yourself. But you got to communicate. If you're just overthinking your own stuff, now that's another thing. That's where it gets a little harder, and it's person by person. Let's say with your business, you want to start your business, and you're overthinking it. It's hard because being vulnerable enough to tell someone what you're overthinking about is already hard enough. But being vulnerable to tell somebody about the business you're starting is another thing. But being vulnerable to tell somebody about the business you're starting and telling them that you're having overthinking thoughts about a business that you're starting, that's like impossible, right? Because they're going to tell you, oh, well, if you don't know, if you're overthinking, probably shouldn't do it. Like simple, don't do it. If you don't know, how would I know? Type of thing. So it's really hard for people who overthinking things like this because no one knows. So it's like you need help, but it's hard to say it because no one wants to say I want to be a business owner, but I don't know what I'm doing. No one wants to say that. Like it's the hardest thing, you know. Sorry, I have to. Some text you have to look at me about to have a deep conversation with my thought and talk with him and understand his struggles. Yeah, you should definitely. It's really good to face. I call it facing my demons, but whatever you guys want to call it, it's really good to face them every now and again. But real quick before I jump off, let's talk about this. Because a lot of people, I got a few DMs even since we mentioned it, and I don't want to. I feel bad when I mention something and then I go ADHD and then I never get back to it, and then people have now DM'd me asking about this thing. So for the boot camp, for everyone who's wondering, I'm actually going to share my screen to make sure I show you guys. That's the last thing I think I discussed. We talked about a lot today, guys. I appreciate you guys. It's been a nice short little hour. It went by pretty quick. Again, we're doing this every week, twice a week. The next time we go live will be on Wednesday. So how we're gonna do it is we're gonna do Mondays business talks, Wednesdays ADHD talks, and then everything in between. We're gonna have a lot of guests on pretty soon. We do also have it set up so that if you wanted to be interviewed, so let's say you're a business owner, you're a content creator. Entrepreneur, artist, whoever you are, if you would like to be interviewed on an episode and get edited reels from the interview, you can DM us and we can set that up. For even some people who do have a business, we can interview you on the episode and have the episode featured in articles. We have press partnerships, we have a few different ones. We can have it featured in a niche specific article for you, and you can connect with your target audience. I'll ask you questions that are in line with whatever you do so that you get footage of you talking about what you do positively, and you do whatever you want to do with that content once you leave. If you do want some help of strategy of what to do with the content, because some of our packages come with 30 days worth of content that we make for you. If you want help strategizing the content, we can help you too. But that's, like I said, I don't, it's just if you want it, if you want the help, it's here. If not, I'm not the guy who's gonna jump down your throat trying to push you into something. It's just, hey, if you want some help, we can do it. If not, we're just gonna keep doing what we do. No. But no, let me actually, guys, I've been saying I was gonna share my screen for like a long time, so I'm gonna share my screen. And then if you follow us, keep your notifications on. We'll be dropping a bunch of reels, just talking about a bunch of stuff that we obviously dropping reels from the episodes. I mean, sorry, just doing a lot on my screen here, but here it goes. Okay, actually sharing now. There we go. Small things. Okay, so for people who can see the screen, and for people who can't see the screen, starting on February 1st, we're going to be hosting our first boot camp. So I've hosted a lot of boot camps for different companies and different things, but this is our first boot camp for You First Solutions. It's a 6-week business boot camp. So always, for you guys know, the way that this ties in, these are ADHD friendly strategies. These are strategies that me as an ADHD I've used in my businesses. And while you're there, you're talking to a coach. So as you come to this 6-week, event, I'm running it. So the host has ADHD. The host also has autism. The host also runs 3 businesses. The host hosts 2 podcasts. So you guys need help multitasking. You guys need help with your time blindness. You guys need help showing up to things on time. You guys need help with whatever you need help with on the ADHD realm. If you add it to business, I'm your guy. So if you want to join, definitely feel free to DM us for more information. If you DM, I feel like if you go over to You First Solutions, there's different keywords that would get you different stuff. I don't know them all at the top of my head. Maybe you're in a different live. There's people in here. Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure if your screen maybe isn't showing you the people. And also, good, I'm glad you said that. She said no one's watching. There's also people, so there is people in our live. I'm not sure. She might have had a different, maybe her Wi-Fi isn't working. But there are people that we have over in our circle. So we go live here, we go live on Instagram, and we go live from our community, right? So, yeah, that was a weird comment though. Not sure. I always try to just treat people like they're actually not just trying to be dicks and they're just actually like trying to let someone know things. But sometimes people, who knows? Yeah. So going back to this, people throw me off sometimes, the stuff that people can comment and say. But on the 1st, we have a 6-week boot camp that we're doing. I'm sorry, I'm very, very no, because I'm saying then skedaddle. Like, get out. But week 1, we're doing target audience. So like anyone if you're starting a business, the first thing is always target audience. Next week 2 is going to be irresistible offers, offer creation. If you have a target audience that you can serve, an amazing target audience, one that you are very in tune with, everything about them, you have to craft an offer that resonates with them too. Because you can choose the best target audience for yourself and then choose a shitty offer, and now it's not connecting with them. So for week 1, we're going to show you how to choose the right target audiences, do's and don'ts, things to look out for, biggest mistakes that I've seen, things like that. And then week 2, we're getting into actually crafting those offers. So do's and don'ts, things like that. Same. Building credibility. So week 3 is going to be building credibility and authority. Talking about different ways to do this. People are so weird. Why do people never understand people? Why not just leave? I never understand why stay somewhere you don't want to be, where you don't like the people. It just seems like just a sad thing to do. But week 3, so building credibility and authority. So main things here is just getting it so your audience trusts you. So whatever way that looks like, and that's different for the audience that you choose. There are different audience. There are certain audiences that prioritize things. So if you post it up with a Lamborghini, that would make them trust you. I always say to go against those audiences. I would never like to target people who value things like that, because usually that's like trends. So if someone targets trends, you never want to target the trendy route. You never want to go the trendy route in anything that you do in business, because the goal of business is to stick around and to have longevity. And if you're targeting anything trendy, you're only going to be popping as long as that thing is trending. So I always say stay away from the trends, use them to your advantage as they come about, but do not stay in a trendy lane and just follow different things like that. Don't do it. Week 4, so that week 3 is about building trust with your audience. Week 4 moves into organic content, so organic strategies. Nothing has to do with paid. I always say before you can even charge somebody for something. So at this week 4, we're before you even made a sale in your business. If you're starting from scratch, obviously some people might join and you're just, wherever you are in your business, you can be at step 3, step 1, whatever the case. But if you're starting from scratch, by the time you get to organic, you haven't even asked anybody to buy anything. But once you get here, now we're doing free cheap. So I'll wait for the boot camp. But week 4 is going to be just talking to you guys how I schedule over 100 reels through all the social media platforms that I manage, or all the social media pages that I manage. Is it just okay? I just want to make sure that wasn't. I think earlier I missed the question as well. Let me make sure. Okay, Connor. I'm glad Connor got his answer. ADHD be like, oh, is that important? Nope. Meditation, I heard, helps too, but I take your advice. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, man. Does he? Let me see if he's still here. But just so he sees it, yeah. So meditation does help. Just one thing I'll speak on that before we do wrap up here. I appreciate everyone who joined. Meditation. The only thing about meditation that can be hard for ADHDers, like if you can do it, like do it. But the thing is, it's hard to do. For one, for so many different reasons, we struggle with starting tasks, right? So even starting meditation can be hard because it's foreign. Like starting tasks that we've never done is even harder than starting, other tasks. But it's foreign. We never done it. But once we do it, we always feel like we're doing wrong. We always feel like we're doing it wrong. We feel like we don't know what we're doing, and it's daunting. It's jarring. It's making us have to just sit with these thoughts that we can't cut off. A lot of neurotypicals don't understand that our minds don't stop. Like we just sit here with thoughts that just keep racing and they don't stop. So meditation, I say if you can do it, go for it. But for the people on the call who know how hard it is to do meditation, I always say, for one, practice it. Find people, find groups, find people who understand it, but definitely practice it. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I always say, like, to people who are trolling, like, as long as that's just what you like to do it. But if your goal is to get under my skin, just give up. It can't happen, won't happen. Like, it's impossible. But if that's just like what you like to do, just join lives and just talk to yourself, go for it. But just know, if your goal is to get under my skin, that won't happen. I don't care about the opinions of people who are my family, my loved ones. That's it. Like it doesn't matter. So just letting you know, I don't want you to waste your time. If that's just like your favorite thing to do, I say go for it. It's just a lot of people get their giggles in different ways. But yeah, I think I answered all the questions that I saw from earlier. I just want to make sure. I know I was kind of going fast and missed some questions earlier. Okay, no, I got y'all. I do want to say, guys, appreciate y'all joining. I mean, this is our 3rd or 4th week. I mean, we started this and we haven't looked back. So I appreciate everyone who's joined and everyone who's been supporting since the first episode now. And now we've been able to talk with people, a Grammy considered artist, being able to talk with another business coach or relationship coach that we talked with the other day, and then talking with the overthinking hooper, the viral sensation. He's going crazy right now. I think he's already got a few thousand since we just already spoke with him. But just appreciate everyone who's joined and just participated. But again, my name is Jace. This has been another episode of the Hyperactive Hustler. Again, if you guys do If you're looking to start a business in 2024, if you're looking to if you already have a business in 2024 or you're looking to launch a business in 2024, we do have our boot camp that we're starting on the 1st of February. So if you guys are interested, definitely feel free to DM us, DM you first. Let's make it happen. It's going to be 6 weeks of ADHD friendly group coaching. And everyone who gets their virtual ticket will also get a free one-on-one with myself. So if you do want just a one-on-one to talk about either business, life, whatever, um, you guys know where to find us. So appreciate you guys joining live. Again, I'll have details for everything in our bios, and we'll be posting more about it as the weeks progress. But it does start on the 1st. So it starts on the 1st, and it's going to be every Thursday. So it's going to be the 1st, and then every Thursday for 6 weeks after that. But yeah, we're going to talk about week 1, target audience, week 2, crafting irresistible offers, week 3, building credibility and authority with your target audience, week 4 is organic, week 5 is paid, so paid ads, things like that, and then week 6 is automation, scaling, things like that. So again, appreciate you all for joining the live today. This has been episode whatever we're on of the Hyperactive Hustler, and we'll see you guys next week, or in this case, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Just said goodbye to our live on Instagram, and now we're gonna go by getting off of our live here. Appreciate Amir, I know you joined. Appreciate we'll be talking hopefully this night, tonight as well. And I will, yeah, I'm gonna try to get with you before the night's over, man. I have a busy night ahead of me, but I'll make sure we can connect because I do want to definitely want to chat. So I'll be in touch. Let me actually stop my share. Again, this has been another episode of the Hyperactive Hustler. Appreciate Amir you for joining. Appreciate Brennan joined earlier as well. We had a few people in and out. On Instagram, it was dope. We keep having these good, keep having nice turnouts on Instagram. So I appreciate everyone who's been joining there. And then as you guys start to get over and start to understand that we're over here, I know that it'll start to be kind of skewed and kind of be toppled over, and it will be more people here than Instagram. But there's going to be a curve as people adjust and things like that. So yeah, I think I'll stop talking, guys. This has been a great episode. Nice, quick to the point. We talked about some really cool things. Again, these will be dropping on YouTube. They'll be dropping on, Reels on Instagram. We'll be dropping some, clips on TikTok and then on YouTube Shorts as well. So tune in for those. If you guys do want to join the boot camp, it's going to be on the 1st all the way till I think March 7th. I think is the last day. They're already planned out. The links are already live and ready to go. So see you guys then. And if not, see you guys Wednesday.
Play the song again for no reason. Let me see it.